I talk to Golden Guardians players, I talk to Golden Guardians coaching staff. They are always excited to play Team Liquid, excited to play the top teams because they always are looking for creative ways to take them down.
All right, let's see how the bans change up now that we are on a new patch. Things will likely be switching around here a bit as the Yuumi is still going to be banned away, Irelia is still banned away, Team Liquid, very similar bans to what we've seen the past couple of weeks. Golden Guardians banning out that Sejuani that's been at the top of the jungle pool for a while now, as well as the newly buffed Karma that has been terrorizing people.
Yeah, Karma got a lot of speed buffs, as they talked about on Countdown, both the duration and the degree of the speed. What we're seeing here is, yes, the Tahm Kench that they were talking about on the desk did not get through. There were some damage nerfs aimed at the top lane. Can't get the reliable spit out once again. That's not something that support Tahm Kench used a lot. The one thing that might affect the support is the range on the Devours. But here we go with all of the Yuumi focus and jungler focus. Aatrox has gotten through, as well as Draven for Deftly. And Deftly is one of the only bottom lane players here in North America that has been threatening the Draven, has played the Draven, has drawn Draven bans. Meanwhile, in Europe, it is highly prized and very often banned. We'll see if this bottom lane power will come to fruition for them. It's very, very likely to snowball, and Contracts picking up the Jarvan here is definitely a champion that can make early visits.
Especially after you already have a couple bans against some strong junglers with the Olaf and the Sejuani being banned out. Means you want to go for that powerful jungler on your own, locking in the Jarvan. However, that did leave the Tahm Kench open. It means Ole will not be piloting that this game, and instead it goes over to Team Liquid and Core JJ.
I don't think the Golden Guardians are too surprised, though. Ole had been expecting bans, after his success on the champion, and them not using one of their first two picks to get it up does mean Team Liquid and Core JJ will have a very, very powerful and safe bottom lane. Varus here will go alongside it. Varus has a very strong lane phase with a lot of harassment and wave control that Doublelift can now bring to that bottom side, even against Draven.
Well, the Brahms locked in for the Golden Guardians to go with the Draven, and that is a pretty threatening lane, those two together. Plenty of dueling power, some 2v2 potential there, up against the Varus and the Tahm Kench. I will go ahead and give a disclaimer. There's always a possibility you could see Tahm Kench top as well, but it's not nearly as common in pro play because of how poorly it scales with gold compared to most other champions.
Yeah, and with the 9/12 nerfs directed directly at the spit out for Tahm Kench, even less likely now. More bans coming through, though, for jungler-focused champions, as Team Liquid still have not locked in their jungler, unless, of course, you get a TK jungle. If you're throwing out your other possibilities.
All right, Tahm Kench jungle.
Or an Aatrox, which can also be
that one's more realistic
into that role. Yes,
that one's more realistic.
Definitely still a flexible pick there, but Golden Guardians really heavily targeting Xmithy because that is not something that he has done previously, and I think these are two very good Xmithy bans. They have gotten all of Xmithy's top play junglers off of the table now.
There's one left.
Skarner, your favorite?
Yep, there's one left that Xmithy plays a lot of. We'll see if Team Liquid lend themselves towards that option, but they're going to target some solo lane power, keeping LeBlanc and Kennen away from the Golden Guardians. And it looks like Golden Guardians are on the same train of thought as the desk was. They want to give the priority pick for the counter pick over to Froggen, make sure that he gets the last choice in the entire draft, and they'll pick up the Gangplank for Haunter.
I think career long, Gangplank has been one of Haunter's top performing champions. He has had quite a few hard carry Gangplank games. Not only can he scale quite well in the top side of the map if he doesn't get targeted, but the bottom lane focus afforded by the Gangplank ultimate can really help out a Draven composition try and go for that cash in from across the map. And Flowers, I see a giant smile on your face. Your favorite champion, of course, the Skarner will be here. And Skarner is one of the prime counters there to something like Draven, where you try and nab that carry from the back line.
1-800-SKARNER. Called that all the way home. Xmithy has had so many good games on Skarner. He has an incredible Skarner win rate in professional play. He'll be accompanied by the Azir with Jensen there, and the Golden Guardians into that Azir. It looks like Froggen is gonna lock in the Vel'Koz to deal with it.
Long-range poke has always been so good versus Azir, throughout the different minutes. And Froggen has played the Vel'Koz very, very heavily in solo queue, as well as I believe a couple of the professional games for himself, bringing it to the LCS stage. So, and not a super surprising pick, and a very good counter pick into the Azir here, blinded by Jensen. Now, of course, Azir can go for all-ins once the Azir's level 6 and the Skarner's level 6. That's very potent against Vel'Koz, who has no safety of his own. You can flash on him, you can go for the Azir sec on him, and once Skarner gets a hold of a Vel'Koz, the Vel'Koz will die in your ultimate duration.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna drop when he's inside the Skarner net. Vel'Koz and Draven, both very good targets for Xmithy to ult, at least until QSS has come online. Hauntzer, not so much. For those who are not aware, Gangplank's oranges cleanse everything in the game. They are a QSS, not just a cleanse. It'll get rid of the suppress. So if Xmithy's looking to make that pull, he will have to wait for those to get out of the way. Otherwise, he's in trouble. But I think we got a pretty interesting draft on our hands, my friend. Looks like both teams got plenty of things they wanted, and this should be a good battle for first place.
Definitely an exciting one here. Lots of options here for Golden Guardians. Are they going to defend topside for Hauntzer with this Aatrox Gangplank matchup? Or look to go offensive on the bottom side? Cash in for Draven, get Froggen going offensively early with the Vel'Koz so that he can bully in his ear.
And Vel'Koz is one of these champions that matches what people expect when they think of Froggen. This long-range control mage that can dominate the charts in terms of damage and just have this 1v9 potential later on in the game.
Meanwhile, Team Liquid, there's a reason they first pick Aatrox. Aatrox right now is a premier team fight champion, especially if your team can get a lead. Aatrox with the resets for the ultimate can be huge. And I have to say, putting the spotlight on Impact is a wise thing to do for Team Liquid. After his performance internationally at MSI, completely outperforming all expectations from people against the best top laners in the entire world, Impact has really been on another level.
Golden Guardians grabbing themselves some free money there off of the Skarner Spire for Xmithy. I always like when Skarner's in the game, not just for the obvious reason that he's there, but also because his Spires are there. The couple of times that I play a game...
Makes you feel at home?
Yeah, when there's no Skarner in the game, I actually feel a little bit strange looking at those parts of the map with no Spire being located there. It's like part of the map forgot to load.
You've played so many Skarner games, you don't even recognize Summoner's Rift.
No!
Without the Spires.
I have been thoroughly confused before when those Spires are not around, but Contracts will be starting off at his red. You can see Xmithy doing the same thing as Hauntzer heads in towards the top lane. Has the grasp on the Gangplank, going for some lane sustainability. A lot of times you will see a Klepto, but up against a laner like Aatrox, who has the ability to really go aggro on you and force you into some spots where you're going to be taking some of those early trades that you don't necessarily win. Grasp will help him stay topped off.
And of course, Aatrox, has a little bit longer cooldown on the passive auto attack, and some of the early lane phase power was taken down recently. Still scales incredibly well into that massive team fighter, and we'll see if there's any extra focus on that side of the map. Currently, definitely trying to stack up the passive, just continually autoing the wave, pushing double lift and core JJ under tower.
Definitely also has Kleptomancy here on his Draven, not running the Conqueror that you often see on the champion. If you look at the enemy team, the only thing that's going to be a true tank is kind of that Skarner, so he's going for the more gold early, get ahead more easily. You couple that with an early kill or two thanks to the passive you were talking about, and he could just be rolling in money to take over this game.
Because they're playing so aggressively too, Ole, when they push up the wave, he gets the opportunity to go into the enemy jungle. And I think that's incredibly important, for all laners to understand. Moving up and getting that deep ward onto the jungle camp gets you information to track Xmithy. So you can then play around the early placement here of Team Liquid's jungler.
Top side, a little bit of trading here between Impact and Hanser. Neither one of them looking too scared just yet. Hanser has plenty of sustain in inventory. Took the biscuits in the runes, has the corrupting potion, so he'll be able to endure plenty up here. Just keep farming up with those parlays. As mid lane, it's even between Jensen and Froggen and Jensen both. I was trying to say them the other way around, but I messed up. As Impact, once again, going to be trading back up there in the top side. You can see Contracts potentially looking for something bottom if Doublelift gets too low. But remember, this is a Tahm Kench support. The Devour save is there, and you've got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, they've got Summoner spells. Contract's just looking to blow one of them here. They have target Core.
There we go. Core JJ thrown up into the air, going to be stunned up, almost knocked down, but the thick skin gets off in time. And that means Golden Guardians will not find themselves a kill. They won't even get the Summoner spell. Core JJ held it.
Yeah, Core JJ holds on to both Summoner spells there. Doesn't even blow the heal, walks right out with a very nice timing on the thick skin. They steal the Tahm Kench, and its defensive properties are utilized quite well in the bottom side of the map. That being said, Deftly and Ole have been playing this lane aggressively as they should with the Draven Braum, and have earned themselves that constant pressure onto the tower, which has resulted in a few of these dropped CS for the Team Liquid duo.
I mean, you look at the gold comparison between the teams, it's about a 500 lead for Golden Guardians over TL, despite the fact that there's no objectives or kills or anything on the board. And a lot of that lead has been built up in the bottom lane. Thanks to the Kleptomancy, thanks to the CS leads. Ole's moving into the enemy jungle to put down some vision, but Xmithie's right there. He's already been able to stun him up. Ole gets himself away with the Unbreakable. Jensen's not able to move in and collapse on that enemy support. He's too low, and that means Ole gets out.
Yeah, I like both teams actively looking towards mid around here. A couple of extra wards, so they do see it, and everybody gets out alive at the end, but looks like Core JJ making another pass here to protect Jensen in case anybody is sticking around. Froggen trying to snipe out of the fog of war, but not quite close enough.
And Xmithie using the Predator there does take a little bit of the pressure away. Golden Guardians not nearly as worried about a Skarner gank that does not include the Predator pre-6 Skarner without that bit of a bonus. Doesn't have too powerful of a ganking opportunity unless you're way overextended. So Golden Guardians can breathe a little bit easier, not having to worry about that one. Definitely will continue just farming up here in the bottom lane, but Doublelift and Core JJ were able to take back that lane control since Ole was away for so long.
And we heard from Doublelift in our video before the match how he does respect how Deftly is one of the players in the LCS that plays bottom lane aggressively for the lane phase. And with the Draven Braum, that's definitely a focus. Contracts!
Oh, Contracts gets himself away, manages to buffer the Skarner stun with his EQ combo, but walked a little bit too close to that brush for the face check there.
Yeah, very close. Super, super dangerous when you walk towards Skarner. Even pre-6, you know, the E-stun is significant if Azir is there. They're going for the smite bite.
Ooh, it is secured by Xmithie as Contracts tried to go in. Ole and Deftly coming in to collapse in case this would turn itself into a 3v3. Arrow fired out, no connect.
And normally that looks like a super dangerous decision, right? Chasing the Skarner through to their bottom lane. But because he knows he's got the Draven Braum duo down there, Contracts goes for it. The timing very close, and Xmithie just had a good smite to secure it. Pass number 2, I think they caught a glimpse of Contracts here. Yeah, Doublelift and Core JJ aware that he was on that tri-bush positioning and looking for another pass.
Contracts will have to be careful too, working around in the jungle. If he runs into Xmithie on one of those spires, Jarvan is not one of the champions that can beat Skarner on his spire. Skarner's extra stats and attack speed on that will make it so you can easily beat him in DPS. So you always have to respect exactly when and where you're invading to make sure you don't put yourself in a spot like that. As Froggen works for a little bit of plate money here. Needs another auto attack to grab it. There we go. Extra money in the Golden Guardians pockets on that one as Jensen comes back to lane.
Yeah, for a note for people with the Vel'Koz matchups, you know, into these matchups where you're trying to abuse that range and harassment, you definitely want to max your W, the Void Rift. It can be tempting to go for Qs and poke people and, you know, see big angles result in high damage, but the W Void Rift is so amazing for wave clear. You saw Froggen there instantly clear that wave and push all the way up to get a plate. Let's see if bottom results in anything here. Xmithie does pass by the control ward, doesn't clear it out.
Top side, more trading going on, but you saw bottom. Xmithie tried to move up into the brush from behind the minion wave to get a sneaky lane gank off. However, he was spotted out by Deftly and Ole before he could get into position. Now he once again returns down here, has to take out the control ward so his opponents don't know he's there. Sped up, moving forward. Just fires off that fracture, but won't get a whole lot with it.
Yeah, both teams here know there's a lot of focus on a bottom lane. Whenever you have this setup coming down, and Contracts now coming down through the river, might mean there's a third pass. This is a level discrepancy, though. No access to his ultimate. Let me click on him and see how close he actually is. The experience, he just needs a couple minions to die, actually, in lane, or half of a camp or something like that, and Contracts will be able to get access to his own level 6.
Contracts does know that bottom side Scuttle Crab is spawning here in a second. As long as he's able to take that one down, that should give him the experience he needs. Looking back up at the top side, it's a little bit of a farm advantage here for Impact, but there's enough minions left to farm up for Haunter that it won't be too bad. Pretty much one wave. Big Smithy walking up to that brush, doesn't face check, drops the control ward instead, finds himself a stun, but it's not going to do a ton of damage, and the honey fruits are still there.
And even though on screen, the camera just sees the two junglers there fighting over it, all of that play was decided by the side lanes collapsing. If you look at the mini-map during that play, yes, the junglers are fighting over this control ward, but bottom lane had priority for Golden Guardians, and both mid laners were heading down. That bottom lane priority means Contracts gets to finish off the ward. Smithy goes for the snipe with his little bit of extra vision.
Yeah, Skarner's E does like 40 damage. It's very hard to steal or do anything with it.
Well, possibly what you're forcing there is a little bit of a threat to have Jarvan take the blue and not give it to the Vel'Koz. That's really your only hope. Maybe he gets a little scared that it's very close and the Jarvan smites it early. Because if you deny the blue buff from the Vel'Koz, then it does make the matchup easier for the Azir.
Smithy gets himself back away from bottom lane after trying time and again to move down here, but the diligent vision work done by Golden Guardians is making it so Smithy's not able to find any ganks despite having Flash, ulti, and Predator ready to go. All the tools in the Skarner inventory locked and loaded, so he should be able to get himself on the board here soon. Froggen and Contracts moving down through the river here. Not going to see Smithy, trying to potentially make something happen as Froggen's going to find some damage that gets absolutely nothing up against the Team Liquid mid laner right now. Contracts has to be a little careful. Smithy takes some damage, but Contracts is the one forced to flash out.
Yeah, with Jensen coming over, the damage would have been there, and Contracts just used his EQ on Smithy, so he knows, all right, I'm out of cards, I have to flash out. And that is the first real big difference in this game. The flash on junglers down now, as Contracts is the only one in the game without the extra mobility. All other combat across the map here has gone very, very close to par. Bottom side, me checking on Draven right now. Looks like definitely is at 280 so far on the Draven stacks as far as the spectator client.
And one thing I want to point out is that Doublelift is going for the poke lethality Comet style of Varus. You can see the serrated Dirk in inventory. When you look at the Golden Guardians lineup, yeah, you've got a Jarvan, and I guess Braum will be kind of tanky, but considering your top laner is not a meatball, it's a Gangplank, the only armor he's going to have is what, a Ninja Tabby or a Guardian Angel maybe later on? That lethality will do a lot of work for these guys if Doublelift can hit those skill shots.
Yeah, lethality Varus, very, very strong against non-tank teams. It's only up to Ole, the Braum. Can he stand in front of it and pop some projectiles?
A TP coming into the enemy jungle from Core JJ, who moves up to throw down a ward before walking back towards bottom lane, and Team Liquid start up the Drake.
Yeah, that's a super annoying thing, having supports teleporting in through your jungle as jungler, but it's used really well by Team Liquid because they know they have this timing. There was just a full reset from the Golden Guardians. So there's nobody else who can help Contracts in trying to defend that objective, and it's just a good opportunity for Team Liquid to make the rush on Dragon. As you know very well, Skarner on the Spire, adept at taking any objective.
Cinderhulk completed as well. Means you've got the bonus burn, you got plenty of HP, you're not worried about being collapsed on and blown up, especially with how many bodies nearby Team Liquid had. Easy pickup for them. Of course, it is first Drake, but it's not an early first Drake. We're almost 13 minutes into the game, so you're not going to get that super early laning phase edge.
And look at this for Deathly in his first completion, the Mercurial Scimitar.
This tilts me.
Not only did he start with the Doran shield, looking for the hand-to-hand combat for the extra regen, but also with the first item Mercurio against Skarner, I do like the play.
I do too.
There has not been a single successful Skarner ultimate, and there will not be one versus Deathly unless he uses the active early.
Draven is actually one of the champions that I don't like to play against very much in solo queue because Draven players usually have big enough brains to buy QSSs early. You go up against a traditional crit marksman, they're like, no, I gotta get my 3 crit items, bro. Crit, 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 crit. But Dravens will go for the early QSS, they'll get the life steal, and it makes it so difficult for Xmithy to get his job done. Froggen becomes that shining target that he wants to go for now. And Golden Guardians, as long as they recognize that and play around it, should be able to make this work out well enough. Xmithy's gonna be taken very low. He's thrown into the dunk bucket, and Contracts and Froggen find first blood.
Once again, Contracts here around mid lane. They do a really good job of taking down the Team Liquid Vision. They just took out the wards, waited in the brush, and eventually Xmithy too close, gets comboed. Ole on bottom side.
Ole takes plenty of damage, but definitely is able to return some of his own. Those axes are spinning as the piercing arrow finds its way onto Ole yet again. Definitely continuing to find some damage. CoreJJ eating quite a lot. The thick skin's gonna keep him alive. Definitely and Ole need to get themselves away now as Impact's making his way into the bottom lane. He's gonna be slowed down by the winner's bite. The heal is used. Ole and Deathly both looking to get themselves out, but it's only going to be Deathly getting away for now.
Reset.
Impact has the reset. He's going in, and Deathly is going down. Impact taken very low. The double kill is there. Contracts moves in to try to fight these guys, but CoreJJ goes into the thick skin yet again. Contracts is not able to clean up anyone, and Team Liquid come out way ahead.
Here now, Golden Guardians pushing on top and mid. Teleport from Hunter from top to mid to finish off that turret since Xmithy is around. And it is a trade of objectives, a trade of teleports. Team Liquid send everybody bottom. They kill the Draven. They cut down on some of those stacks. And let's take another look at how it all started out. A lot of damage there early with the poke onto CoreJJ. And definitely, because they got CoreJJ low under tower, they do extend pretty far, but Impact teleports in the instant speed here on the Aatrox, and then since they get the kill onto Ole, Jensen flashing for it to make sure, that gives Impact that reset we're talking about for the ultimate. You get another speed boost, you get the possibility of the revive, so that definitely could not kill him under turret, and they get the extra objective. Can he get out?
Oh, here we go again. Ole was trying to get close enough to Contracts to dash over the wall, but instead he's going to be pulled back to his own death, and that means another one on the board here for Team Liquid.
And even though the Golden Guardians got first tower bonus, Team Liquid now getting this Rift Herald means they can answer very quickly. The turret plates are gone, so you don't get the extra money cash in there, but you can try and take down an actual turret and even up the gold and try and give you somewhere to work with on the map. Currently swapping the bottom line up to the top side of the map here.
Definitely getting himself out of that ulti from the Varus by popping a QSS there, but more damage coming through from those piercing arrows means he will be thankful he has that lifesteal to heal up. That one's not going to find its mark at least, and Contracts hovering means definitely is not actually in danger of getting dove just yet.
Yeah, Draven, you can't go into auto training with Draven.
Not the best ult there from Jensen.
Yeah, here we go, topside!
All right, Contracts in some trouble. Gonna be knocked up into the air now as CoreJJ tries to walk away. The thick skin is enough, but the Draven ulti's coming back. Ole is the one who takes the kill.
Ole takes it as the backswing from Draven's ultimate was coming through as well. They just wanted to make sure they got the kill in the first place. But in the end, no cash in for Draven.
Feels bad, man. Draven player just wants to get those adoration stacks in there, but the support's out here taking all the glory. Double Lift will be left to defend underneath the turret, but Golden Guardians don't want to make any kind of a push just yet. Froggen doing a good job there, interrupting the back from Jensen. And with both these mid laners having their Luden's Echoes ready, Kobe, this could turn into an explosive fight at any moment. Xmithy will find no value from that Predator, though.
Yeah, popping the Predator right over the control ward. Definitely a lot of possibilities for this Infernal Dragon, Captain Flowers. When you have a team with Draven, Vel'Koz, and Gangplank, Infernal Dragon has huge repercussions later in the game. Team Liquid don't want to let them have it. They're coming down to defend. Teleports have been committed. This is going to be it. They're starting it
There are some ultimates still down. Haunter and Impact having a 1v1 in the bottom lane. Everybody else going to be 4v4ing here over at the Drake pit. Contract still with control and priority over that pit means Golden Guardians are able to find it. Impact now trying to get himself away. Over the wall comes the rest of the team, and Impact is shut down.
No kill, no revive. Team Liquid will try and counter with a mid Rift Herald here. Rift Herald pushes have to be answered. So
Yes.
huge play there from Golden Guardians to get the Infernal Dragon and get the team fight victory. But they can't push as hard as they would want to in a 5v4 because the trump card of Rift Herald has been popped mid and needs to be answered, actually. Nobody sticks around, so they won't get the second turret for Team Liquid, but it is going to be a reset here.
Shelly getting off half the HP of that second turret as well. Nothing to slouch at. Golden Guardians will lose that outer one. Like you said, though, the trade between the mid lane and the bottom side, Haunts are stuck around to make sure they got that tier 1 down in bottom lane. Golden Guardians now have the Infernal Drake and a 1,500 gold lead 19 minutes in. They're doing pretty well for themselves.
Golden Guardians are certainly a very real threat for the LCS. We have 6 teams tied for first, and this game illustrating that fact very clearly. Now, after getting the Infernal Dragon, after taking bottom and mid outer turrets for themselves, they take the next step, clearing away the vision leading up to Baron and making Team Liquid check here.
Checking into something like a Vel'Koz is so damn scary because if you get thrown up into the air, you are just dead. If there's barrels accompanying that, if you've got Draven nearby, you're double dead. Not a lot to do in a situation where you don't pay proper respect to the vision game, which is why you see Team Liquid being so cautious here. Ole wanting to move up, get some more vision down into enemy territory, but won't find the opportunity thanks to Jensen. Team Liquid still have one tier 1 turret left standing, but definitely is looking to fix that here if he can. Take that one down, and they have more control on this top side to move up and make those wards a little further into Team Liquid territory.
And Team Liquid, they've split into the 1-3-1 now. Both teleports on Impact and Jensen are coming up very shortly. So if they're able to push out these waves, they will still be able to answer any sort of confrontation here in the jungle. The only problem, though, with Vel'Koz is that they'll usually kill a champion within the duration that it takes for a teleport to complete.
Yes. The channeling of the Lifeform Disintegration Ray will quite often take someone down. Ole trying to keep Xfinity and Core JJ away, but Xfinity's able to find the pull they need. That's what I was talking about. That's the one guy on Golden Guardians that cannot afford to get ulted.
Core JJ strikes first with the Tom Kench ultimate. Team Liquid now priority over Summoner's Rift. They slip into Baron, they clear out most of the vision here. That was a very high value kill onto Froggen, knowing that there's no flash on Vel'Koz. We went over the weakness in Champ Select. That is it. This is a low mobility champion, huge damage output, but not a lot of escapes available in Impact.
Impact going in onto Haunter here, and the Pirates stuck around a little bit too long in the bottom lane. Xmithy and Impact both looking to still make this one happen, and Xmithy will take the kill credit.
Yep, Skarner slips in there, does get the smite, and I believe the Q to finish off the extra little bit of damage. You do, to be fair, want to get assisted kills because you get 50% more money for your team. So I think, well done there, Jungler being able to split it. Here's another look at Core JJ's ultimate on the Tom Kench. Brings in Xmithy right next to Froggen. And since Jensen had flanked from the top side, there's nowhere for that Vel'Koz to walk. You have no flash, that means there is no escape. And a well-orchestrated strike there from Team Liquid. Back-to-back pickoffs for them on the solo laners of Golden Guardians. Pushes Team Liquid just slightly ahead in gold. And also ahead here in the map control. They will get the last outer turret for themselves.
Team Liquid topping the damage charts here as well. You can see Impact actually has the highest damage against champions in the game, ever so slightly out-damaging his own AD carry in Double Lift. And whenever you do more damage than a poke-based Varus, you're doing all right, Kobe. You're having a pretty good game.
Definitely true. Aatrox certainly able to dish it out, and it just gets better from here. He's got the Death Dance and the Black Cleaver. You have your Armor Shred, you have your cooldown reduction, and you have plenty of sustain for the fights. This is the stage, the 2-item power spike that people talk about when they talk about why Aatrox is a first pick priority. Now, the difficulty is then orchestrating those team fights, getting them to set up, because Team Liquid, want their frontliners to be able to get that first move and get the flank. Jensen being able to sit in the back along with Double Lift and fire away. can definitely be a difficulty. Now they're committing, though, right next to Xmithy.
Xmithy did hard rush the Gargoyle Stone Plate, though, and Ole now going to be pulled away and isolated. Golden Guardians will lose their support immediately, and now they're stuck in a 4v5. They have to try to retreat. They'll cover their path with some barrels, with some skill shots from the Vel'Koz, but they have to be so mindful of how Team Liquid can engage here. Froggen and Hans are going to run into Impact there as Team Liquid moves up to try to take this blue buff. Impact at about half HP. Xmithy working on soloing down the Drake while the rest of the team looks to contest the blue. Contracts could have the smite available, but will not be able to use that when it was down. As now Hanser tries to get himself away from Team Liquid. Incoming assault! Jensen finds a nice ulti on the 2.
And again, 2 back-to-back plays from the solo laners of Team Liquid. On the Skarner pull, it was Impact who flanked up through the river and drew the rest of the Golden Guardians away from Ole. He split the team, and then this one, he goes in onto Hanser over the wall, and Jensen comes around for another knockback with Azir to secure themselves kills and secure themselves a 2-player advantage to start a Baron. Now he's on Deathly.
Impact's about to find himself a solo kill on Deathly, who gets himself away from Core JJ, who used 2 summoners to get over the wall. But Baron is down to half HP. Golden Guardians have got to try to get themselves into position and stop this. Team Liquid will be a nightmare if they get this and get that far ahead. Xmithy's going to be taken very low. Impact's got the kill onto Ole. Baron goes down, and Team Liquid has taken control of this game.
They took the blue buff, they took the Baron, now they're looking to take red as well. Contracts is in.
Contracts gets himself away. Froggen hangs out long enough to find some damage. He'll shut down Xmithy. Contracts still on the front line, going into the stasis to keep himself alive. Froggen raining in the artillery fire as the shutdown comes through. Golden Guardians have got the damage. Core JJ wants to get away, but it is a triple kill for Froggen's Vel'Koz.
Justice, everything is going Team Liquid's way. They stepped too far into Golden Guardians territory. They tried to chase down Contracts, and Jensen goes over the wall into the red buff only to get 3-shot there. Golden Guardians coming back, getting some gold for themselves, but more importantly, getting that Baron buff off of multiple Team Liquid members.
So important to shut that down on as many people as possible. Fortunately for Team Liquid, it's still up for Impact, but let's take another look at how this fight went down.
All right, so they get the knock-up and they make the call to finish Baron and simultaneously kill Ole. So after that, they're thinking, we have so much of an advantage in this game. I think they get way too ahead of themselves. Xmithy's still low. Jensen is on like 300 HP off your screen right now, by the way. And they run into the Vel'Koz. Great ultimate from Froggen from the brush. Contracts with a well-placed Zhonya's. Now we're back to life.
We're right back into it, and Xmithy's going right back out of it. Froggen's on a rampage.
Golden Guardians got a lot left in the tank here as they get another kill out of a brush. We didn't see the setup, but looked like multiple members outside of Team Liquid vision, and they punish Xmithy in the river. This Baron buff for Team Liquid is gonna get close to nothing, Captain Flowers. They keep giving away kills that denies the setup for the push for themselves. Yes, they still have one on Deathly, but they don't have a lot of time to work with it now.
Golden Guardians have put the brakes on this Baron power play completely. Currently at negative over 1,000 gold for the side of Team Liquid after the heavy losses they incurred immediately after the Baron. They need a couple more auto attacks to take down this mid lane tier 2. Cannon minion should take care of that one for them. That'll at least make the losses a little bit more understandable. But Golden Guardians are doing a good job hanging on for now. The name of the game so far in this one has got to be Impact, though. Constantly dominating in the side lanes, constantly making his presence known in the team fights. Doublelift is taken very, very low, nearly brought down by the Whirling Death. He tries to hobble away from the Gangplank ultimate. Impact now going to be feeling the wrath of the Lifeform Disintegration Ray. Team Liquid, though, will manage to disengage. No deaths.
Yeah, lots of health bars traded here. It looks like they're going to try and regenerate back up. Doublelift, as you can see, with the Ocean Chugging and double Ocean Drakes means that Team Liquid, as long as they avoid death, double Ocean Drake regeneration will kick in, and they get to come back and poke more. That is the benefit of this Varus. And I think the intelligent pickup there early on in the game of the corrupting potion from Double Lift has definitely paid off.
And I like the respect being shown by both these junglers for just how damage heavy the compositions are. Gargoyle's Stoneplate rushes after the Cinder Hulk for both parties means they realize their job is to go in and just spend as much time as possible still alive, because it's not going to last too long without that item. Monster continuing to farm up here in the bottom side. Baron will run out in a second. And there we go. That's going to slow down the Team Liquid push here a little bit, but they don't look like they're heading home anytime soon. Varus ulti finding its way onto Ole. Team Liquid back away from the mid lane here yet again. Ole needing to go back and heal will buy Team Liquid some more time, but they're not too concerned about it now, walking towards that Drake pit. Mountain Drake spawning in 20 seconds.
Yeah, that one's going to be a Team Liquid setup. They're going for a brush play here. They just keep relying on the double Ocean Drakes, and even though Double Lift exchanged poke with Froggen, Double Lift can just back off and regenerate. Meanwhile, Deathly takes the arrow in this one, and he's down to half HP.
The arrow took half of Deathly's HP. Froggen's Q took half of Jensen's HP. There's a lot of poke war going on so far in this game as the Golden Guardians continue to move themselves up. Definitely trying to take priority over the minion wave so he can heal up with the lifesteal from the Mercurial Scimitar so he's ready for the team fight.
They going in blind? Pink go down on it. They've got mid-wave priority here. They're just going to go down middle and try and get the tower. Team Liquid might try and close in from the back.
Team Liquid just approaching from the front here in the mid lane. Impact and Core JJ made their way over with the Abyssal Voyage to meet the Golden Guardians head on and stop them from taking this tier 2. And that means Team Liquid come out on top. They get the Mountain Drake, Golden Guardians get nothing in return, and Team Liquid still commands that 2,500 gold lead.
All right, we are going to have a reset then. That means it's time for another episode of Check In on Draven.
Oh boy.
Because guess what? Definitely still has not gotten to cash in. 6 assists is one of the worst feeling things, on the Draven player. And he's up to 375 stacks now, almost on the Draven passive. They really, really need to get that cash in. Ideally, it would be before the next Baron fight, but Baron is coming up very, very quickly. And with that Mountain Drake for Team Liquid, the threat is even quicker.
Ole in contracts, moving forward here, looking to find the play onto Double Lift, who's knocked up into the air. Core JJ moves close enough to gobble him up, but he's spit back out inside the Cataclysm. Double Lift's gonna be forced to flash away just to keep himself alive, but he'll be disintegrated. Froggen goes unstoppable.
You can see the determination in Contract's eyes for that engage. Just walks straight at them, gets the double dunk, and now it is Golden Guardians with a 5v4 play.
Not just 5v4, Kobe. 5v4, and the one they're missing is the AD carry. It means so much to not have those piercing arrows flying at you in this Baron pit, and Golden Guardians will force the issue now. Core JJ almost dead. The damage from Froggen's poke is extreme. Xmithy does have the flash available. Blast Cone 2. This could very well be a 50-50 smite fight. Golden Guardians putting the faith in Contracts right now. Jensen putting a soldier down in the pit. Impact in some trouble. The Golden Guardians turning their attention now over to the Fed member of Team Liquid. They're trying to get the damage before Contracts gets himself killed. Impact's almost going to be taken down, but Core JJ keeps him alive only for a moment. Core now going to be brought very, very close to death. The shutdown on the Froggen, though, goes over to Double Lift. It's a 1-for-1 there. More piercing arrows are going to fly. Golden Guardians still looking to maybe find more, but Team Liquid will disengage.
Yeah, Double Lift revives and makes it there in time to catch Froggen as they're chasing down Impact here. What an insane revival here. Let's take another look at it. Now, Golden Guardians make the call to turn on Impact. This is good because they have to kill the Aatrox before he gets a reset in the team fight. In a 5 versus 1, Contracts is able to flash away, avoiding the death, avoiding the Aatrox reset, and now they're back onto Baron with Team Liquid starting it up here. They did get one teleport out from Hanser, and we finally get a breather.
Both teams are so ready for this Baron. Nobody wants to wait. They just want to start it up and get this going. And I like seeing that kind of aggro mindset here from these teams that are currently tied for first. Definitely, with the Adoration finally cashed in, has 3 big ticket items completed. Ole's trying to get away now. Team Liquid want to collapse yet again with the Core JJ Impact combo through the Abyssal Voyage, but they will not find that angle on anybody just yet.
All right, the Golden Guardians, #1 plan right now. You have to find a way to get to Core JJ and Double Lift. Contracts needs to use everything he has to get that backline. There are no summoner spells on Double Lift or Core JJ. If they can get that engage again, that is an easy target. Meanwhile, on the side of Team Liquid, if they are able to get the Skarner pull on Froggen, he has a QSS now. So they have to find one target to just deal enough damage to get that kill and reset for Impact.
Impact needs to be the big man on the front line here for Team Liquid. Double Lift making his way towards this fight. Still walking up through the jungle. Contracts going in, looking to engage. Ole gonna be in some trouble. Double Lift on the flank, able to find the ulti onto multiple people. Ole gonna be the target now. Impact off the side, still looking to find the damage. Contracts nearly gonna get dunked. And there you go! Impact into the back line, but Double Lift's also gonna be taken down. Impact looking to find even more. Definitely gonna be brought down next. Froggen has to kite himself back. Impact still looking to find some more damage, but he doesn't want to go any further. The revive will not be there. Xmithie still chasing. It is so hard to go anywhere near Froggen, though. The 3 champions alive, not going to do a whole lot unless Jensen makes his way over there, but Jensen is more heavily prioritized with the mid lane.
2 Ocean Drakes, remember, Flowers. Team Liquid are healing back up, so Froggen and Ole have to make some fancy footwork here to get out, and they're making the escape.
Jensen's just beating the holy hell out of the inhibitor this entire time,
He's
though.
going for the
He
Nexus
got
turret.
the mid lane inhibitor turret. He got the inhibitor itself. Team Liquid will not let Golden Guardians back. Jensen's got this first Nexus turret. Core JJ and Xmithie continuing to look for the opportunity to find the Golden Guardians here. Jensen will join up with the rest of his team.
Oh my goodness.
Now that there's some firepower meeting him, Ole and Froggen are actually in trouble for the first time. Froggen popping the QSS, likely to be taken down. There's your damage. There you go. A killing spree over to Impact. Make it 2 for Team Liquid. This could be the victory mark.
Captain Flowers, that game of Ring Around the Rosie lasted so long. Impact got another Aatrox ultimate backup with all the cooldown reduction he has. And with those kills, Team Liquid look to finish.
Team Liquid, 5 versus 3. Critically, no Froggen, the man with 7 out of 11 of the Golden Guardians kills to defend here. Haunter calling in the Gangplank ultimate just to try to hold the line. Contracts going into the Gargoyle Stone Plate, keeping himself alive. Haunter wanting to move forward, trying to find the damage. Instead, it's only going to be Contracts taken down. 10 seconds left on Froggen, 5 on Ole. Liquid realize they can't seal the deal here, and they head back.
Big defense for the Golden Guardians. Right now on the map, Baron is alive, and already Tom Kent's ultimate used here. Jensen's DPSing it down.
Team Liquid knows they took out the enemy jungler. There is no chance of a steal, and Baron is going their way.
That should be an easy reset for them. Going for the recall here, only Xmithie heading over. So it looks like the consolation prize for Golden Guardians will be a Mountain Drake of their own. But you only get to use that one if you get your kills first. Here's another look at Contract, hard forcing on Core JJ. Remember, the Tom Kent had no summoner spells, but he's so tanky. And Double Lift and Jensen put out a lot of damage while they were focusing him. Haunter then, look at that flash on the bottom of your screen that he got onto Double Lift. He trades 1 for 1. Meanwhile, Impact got the reset on the Aatrox, and he absolutely destroyed the entire team. We've been talking about it a lot. That's the reason we've been talking about it a lot for Aatrox. Absolutely able to chase them all down. And then, as you know, they're able to continually chase around Froggen and Ole long enough for it to come back up. And they got the extra kills. Now with this Baron buff, this should be the ultimate siege for Team Liquid.
Team Liquid has everything they need to finish this game off right here. The one thing really standing in their way is Froggen's Belcause, this artillery turret that has been stopping them so far. But considering one lane of inhibitor minions is now spawning, and the second one is under siege, things are only going to get more difficult from here. Definitely trying to find auto attacks wherever he can. Froggen not quite going to get the plasma fission to connect. Tier 3 turrets still under siege bottom side. 2 cannon minions putting in a lot of work here. Definitely will put the auto attacks into him to get rid of that threat. Turret still standing, but definitely, man, couple hits, 2/3 HP.
Definitely getting painful now. This is 5 kills on the Azir. Almost a full build completed for Jensen. That needlessly large rod upgrade, very short to follow. Probably won't happen in this game as they come storming through. Second inhibitor will fall. And all that's left now for Golden Guardians to defend around is the single Nexus turret. This is it. The last stand.
Oh, it's the Alamo for the Golden Guardians. Their pull is coming down onto Contracts, who goes into the stone plate, keeps himself alive. Not able to find a whole lot just yet. Jensen's on a killing spree, already going to be 2 dead. Onto the side of the Golden Guardians, make it 3. Deathly and Froggen remain, but with no front line, the chance of defense is just not there. Lifeform Disintegration Away will not find the kill onto Xmithy, who barely survives thanks to Core JJ. Jensen's on the front line. He'll be taken down, but so will the Golden Guardians Nexus. And Team Liquid retain first place.
All right, so far, our battle between the 6